For this lesson, we're going to look at point-slope form of an equation. Our learning target, I can write an equation of a line in point-slope form. We are given an equation. This is called the point-slope form of a line. And this equation can look intimidating. However, it really, you're already familiar with each of those variables. So it becomes less intimidating once you see how it works. The y is just your dependent variable. So y stays as y. The y sub 1 is the point that you're given. It is the y value from the point you're given. It is the y coordinate from the point that you have. And you substitute or you replace that value in the y1. So we substitute for y sub 1. Of course, m, we've been working with a lot here lately. M means, slope. And we do substitute the value of the slope into our equation. So we will substitute for m. X is just good old x, and x is the independent variable. Variable just stays x. Then we have x sub 1, and x sub 1 is very similar to y sub 1. It is the x coordinate from a point. And we do substitute the x value in the coordinate in place of x sub 1. And you should have all of this written in your notes. Now we're going to practice. We're going to write the equation of the line if the slope is 3 and a point on the line is 1, 2. So they're telling us that the slope is 3, and we know that slope is represented by m. And they're telling us that there is a point, and that point on the line is 1, 2. So we will use the equation of point-slope form, y minus y sub 1 equal to m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. We know from our notes that we keep the y and we keep the x. So we're going to keep this one and this one. We replace the sub 1's, so we replace this one and this one, and we replace the slope, m. So we're going to replace those, and we're going to keep the others. We'll replace what's in we start this as y minus, we go to our point and we look at that coordinate of 1, 2, and we choose the value for y. The y value is 2. So we substitute 2 in place of y sub 1 equals, the slope is m, and they've told us m is 3. Substitute 3, parentheses, x, and I was going to write that 3 in red. Let me just change that real quick. There we go. Minus, in this x sub 1, we know we have to substitute, so we go to our point and identify the value of the x coordinate, which is 1, and we close the parentheses. We have now written our equation in point slope form using a point and a slope. Let's try again. This time we have slope of 1/2 and our point on the line is -1, 0. So again, we know y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. We know m equals 1/2, and we know that we have a point at -1, 0. So y minus, we find our y coordinate. Our y coordinate is 0. Equals, we find our m. Our m is 1/2 times the quantity of x minus our x coordinate, and our x coordinate is -1. So we're actually going to put minus -1, but we know that when we subtract a negative, we must change it to plus. We can simplify this slightly. Y minus 0. Y equals 1/2 times the quantity of x plus 1. This time we're given a point of 2, -3, and we're told that we have a slope of 4. So y minus, our y value is -3, equals our slope of 4 times the quantity of x minus, our x value is -2. And again, we know that if we have 2 minuses, we actually have addition. So we change that to say plus. Graphing a line given a slope and a point is actually very, very similar to when you graph a line using the slope and the y-intercept. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot the point on the coordinate plane that they give us. That point is 3, -2. And we know that that means we go 3 to the right on the x-axis and then down 2 on the y-axis to get to the -2 value. So 3 on the right and down 2 gives us a point right here. The nice thing about slope is slope, of course, is the rise over the run for the entire line. So the slope from this point is -2/3, and that would be the same slope if we knew the y-intercept. So we're going to do this the same type of way. We're going to rise -2, and and we're going to run 3. So if I'm going to rise -2, I'm going to go 1, 2, that's my negative portion, and then I'm going to run 3, 1, 2, 3, and my second point goes here. Now, I only actually need 2 points to draw a line, so I could stop right there and draw the line across the entire coordinate plane, or I could continue counting the slope and give myself more points to give myself a really nice, accurate line. Oh, I switched slopes. I didn't look. But I did. There we go. And I draw my line all the way through, all the way across the coordinate plane with arrows on either end. My y-intercept happens to be at 0. Okay, this time we're asked to write an equation of a line, and we're given 2 points. I'm going to rewrite this point because it split on the screen to say -1 there. We don't have the slope given to us, but we do have 2 points, and we know how to find the slope using 2 points. The change in y, the rise, over the change in x, the run. So I know if I do 5 minus -2.5 over 2 minus -1, I have 7.5 over 3. 7.5 over 3 equals the same as 5 over 2. You can use your calculator to double check me there. That is now my slope. So I can write the equation of the line. Y equals, I'm sorry, I wanted to use point cell form. Y minus the first y. Well, the first y is 5. Equals my slope. Well, I found the slope to be 5 over 2 times the quantity of x minus the first x, and the first x is 2. So I have found the slope using 2 points, and then used that slope with the 2 points to write the equation of the line. One more time. First we find the slope. Slope equals 2 minus 4 over 1 minus 0 equals -2 over 1. And then we write the